Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 10th of February. Reading through Genesis with McShane, we read chapter 43 today. Joseph is in Egypt, ruling the country. His brothers have come, bought grain from him, gone home. He told them they couldn't come back if they didn't bring Benjamin with them. One suspects he wanted to see how they treated Benjamin, who was now clearly his father's favorite. Would they treat him as badly as Joseph had been treated, or had his brothers changed? And it's not explicit what he's doing, but his brothers eventually persuade the father, Jacob, to send Benjamin with them, and they go to Egypt to get grain. And as they come into Joseph's house, he says they must come to lunch in his house. We're told they go into the home and they presented with him with the gifts they had brought, and they bowed down before him. And one immediately remembers the dream that Joseph had had, that the brothers would all bow down to him, which invoked their ire, but now you see it being fulfilled. And as I read through the chapter, I was very conscious of the fact that there's nothing religious about it. God isn't mentioned. Nobody prays. There's no word from the Lord, no prophet, no great spiritual insight. It's just life going on, and the brothers doing what they need to do using common sense. Joseph, in his privileged position, wanting to test them, and the story just plays out. And it made me realize that as you read it, there's no mention of God, but you're aware that God is behind it. The very fact that they all come and bow down to him as they present their gifts, and you're reminded he dreamt this, so clearly this is part of God working his plan out. And as we go through life, we're so often in the same kind of position where we don't see God clearly. Sometimes there's a wonderful insight, and you have this unmistakable presence of God guiding, inspiring, leading you, which is wonderful. But so often that's not the case. And you go through life and you're just doing the normal, everyday human things, doing them to the best of your ability, doing them with the innate wisdom that God has given you, using common sense and the advice of people around about you, and life goes on. But it doesn't mean that God isn't there. In the same way that you're very clearly aware that God is behind and underneath everything playing out in the story in Genesis, so too God is behind and underneath and working his purpose out in our daily lives as well. For me, that's a great encouragement, and I trust that it is for you too. Be blessed.